Friendships and getting sober is extremely difficult, especially later on in life. My name is Eric. If you're new to the channel, hit the like and follow button. If you're coming back, well, welcome back. I share about addiction, I share about mental health and a lot of other things through my lived experience. And one of the things that we don't talk, I think, enough about is the struggles of friendships and having friends when you get sober. This is one of the difficult things, and I think this is the thing that leads to a lot of relapse, why we think that life is boring, all of that. Is a lot of us are like myself. I got sober at 36. When I got sober, I thought life has passed me by, man. I'm old already, bro. I'm unk all of a sudden, you know. I'm gray hair. I'm 36 years old. I'm not 20 anymore. I'm creeping up on 40. Like my life is kind of over. We have a very negative aspect at life, even a little bit when we're getting sober, especially at a later age. But one of the things that once you really get sober and you find your sobriety and you find this rhythm and is, you know, you start finding out who you are. And one of the hardest things I think it is to find human connection out there. And that's why I think NA and AA is great, because I think it's really important to find other sober people. And here's why. I have a huge trouble making friends. I still do. And the reason I still have trouble making friends is because a lot of the people that are in my age range, I'm 45, a lot of the 45-year-olds out there, their kids are old enough now that they don't need to be babysat. Like the kids are self-sufficient. And so what are they doing? They're living their life all of a sudden. Well, in my 20s, I don't have any kids. So my 20s and my 30s, I lived my life, man. I have my body count. I've done every life was a party. That was my life. I lived it up. And I remember a lot of it. And I don't need to live it up anymore. And I've been to that point where I wanted to die, but I didn't want to die. I've been to these dark places where I don't own a gun, because if I did when I was drinking, I would have killed myself multiple times. And so the hardest thing that we don't talk enough about is when we get sober, we have this new lust for life. We're trying to understand, find out who we are. What do I even enjoy? When I got sober, I looked in the mirror. I didn't know who I saw, because I saw an alcoholic. I saw a person trying to get sober. I saw a cocaine addict. If you asked me what hobbies I had and what I liked to do and what I enjoyed, I'd be like, I don't really know. And I had to start finding out, like, what do I enjoy? Hobbies and things, and find joy and passions in life. And it took a while. I mean, it started off really basic, from something as simple as walking my dog to, you know, going to the gym, to working out, to, you know, collecting cards, social media. I enjoy doing some of this. You know, I love surfing. I ended up loving floating the river, tubing, like all these different things I found out I love and I really enjoy. But when you're getting sober, you don't know what you like. You don't know who you are. And it's a lonely place to be. And so you start meeting friends. And what I found is a lot of people like my age is, what do? Well, they're starting to live life. If they weren't an addict, they're living life. That means there's a lot more drinking, there's a lot more party. You know, every night's kind of a hoorah, like, hey, we're empty nesters, we're gonna like live it up now. I already lived it up. And I don't relate. You know, that's the thing that I've found is the hardest thing for me, is I don't relate to a lot of people my age. I struggle a lot being around a lot of people who have to party, who have to drink, who feel that this is part of their life. And for them, if that's where they're at in life, awesome. If they're not an addict, they didn't burn down their world like I did, cool. But I destroyed my world, and I destroyed everyone around me and ruined everybody around me. And it's hard, like, because how I don't have common ground with a lot of these people. Like, I want to build a business. I want to retire at 50. I have all these goals and dreams. Like, I know what it's like to want to die. So to be able to live again, you are filled with so much life. Once you hit this really good part of sobriety where you're like, dude, I want to live now. It's an amazing feeling. It's a wonderful feeling, but there's so many people that aren't there all of a sudden. And you kind of feel like a Jehovah Witness, because you're like, well, let me talk to you about, you know, getting sober and how this is going to change your life. And that's not our place to do. And you're going to find that there's a lot of people that, you know, are living a life that, you know, they're not a parent anymore, really, in that aspect. Their parenting has changed, and now they're starting to live up their lives, and they want to party, and their life revolves a lot more maybe around alcohol. And guess what? It's hard for us. It's hard for us to relate. You know, one of the struggles that I run into, you know, my wife and I will meet people, and you know, during the week, hey, we're all gonna drink, and who knows what's gonna happen tonight? It's gonna get crazy and all this stuff. And I'm just like, dude, I'm 45. Like, you want to talk to me about making a business and growing a business? Sweet, I'm down. But like, that just isn't something that excites me, and I don't feel like I missed out on that. And that's the thing is like a lot of people later on in age, I think we all go through these different transformations. I don't think it's a midlife crisis. I think it's midlife growth that, you know, a lot of people are like, dude, they're trying to relive some of this stuff or have these experiences that they never had. And unfortunately, I had a lot of those experiences at a really young age. And so to try and connect with a lot of people, it's very difficult. A lot of people, a lot of hobbies, especially later on in life, you're going to realize revolve around drinking. You know, people are like, hey, come on over. We're gonna get drunk and we're gonna do this game or whatever. It's not like, hey, let's go play cornhole, but we're gonna do it sober. You know, I mean, it's amazing how much alcohol really is involved, and when people are really kind of focus on that, has to be part of the fun and enjoyment for us that are sober. It's very difficult. It's very draining. Like I've realized for me being sober, I can go and hang out with sober people or, you know, that's fun and that's easy. But when I go around and hang out with people that drink, that's easy if it's an event. If it's an event and everybody gets wrecked, I know it's like this event. I know it's this party, whatever. I can watch over my wife. Like I know that nothing's going to happen. Like, hey, it's fun. But when it's something now that starts to enter in my life and it's a constant talking and constant about drinking or constant about this and this, I'm never going to get that level. I'm never going to be able to do that. And I'm going to exhaust myself to try and find a common ground with you. And if I can't, and I can't find what to even latch onto for a friendship, I kind of have to move on and keep you just as an acquaintance and be okay with that. That's the one thing I did learn about my sobriety is that you're going to have a lot more acquaintances than you are friends. And you're going to look back and there'll be times where you'll be like, why can't I have more friends? And that's the thing, it's like, you know, the AA community, NA community, the sobriety community is out there and you have to kind of dig in with that. And there are really cool sober people out there. And it's just finding your people and realizing that you don't have to be friends with everybody. Protecting your sobriety is the number one thing. It's nobody else's right to protect your sobriety. It's your right to protect your sobriety and everybody can live their life. And that's the thing I think you really have to keep in mind. But it's something that I wasn't really prepared for. You know, I wasn't prepared for, like, once I got sober and I lived my life and dude, I'm fighting for my sobriety. I get to a good part in life and I'm like, dude, I'm in a good part in life. Like I really want a lot of friends and I want to go out and do stuff. Cause like when you're sober, you want to do a bunch of things. You have a bunch of hobbies and stuff that you like doing. But then you realize how many people are so reliant on alcohol to do that. And you're like, oh, like, why do you need alcohol to do that? Like, to me, it doesn't make it any more fun. Like, I remember everything I did and how stupid I made myself out to be and how I ruined experiences for so many people drunk. I was not a good drunk that it's like, and it makes it difficult. And it's one of those that I don't think we just really address. I mean, comment your experience down below. It's the one thing I don't think we're prepared for when we're getting sober is hanging out with people that drink, that how normal it is to have alcohol tied into your life. And how many friendships and stuff revolve around alcohol. That getting sober can be kind of a lonely life. And you're not a martyr for it because there are a lot of sober people out there. But it's also like your friendships are going to readjust themselves. You're going to find yourself hanging around with different people. Like I find myself, the best people I hang out with are the people that are business oriented and business minded. They don't have to drink and we want to talk about how do we all become rich. Like that's what I like to be around. My brain thrives on that, on ideas. My wife and I are very entrepreneurial. Like I love that. But man, when it comes to just everybody listening to music, getting drunk and just having this party, it's fun. Like, don't get me wrong. Like it's fun every now and then. I like to be around people, but it's also like, I can't do this all the time because I'm never going to be to that level. And I know it's only a matter of time until something bad happens because I've been there too many times to know how it all plays out. Like I lived that life for, 16 years. It's fun a lot of times. Eventually, it's something bad may happen. It probably is going to happen. But again, that's why I do share stuff like this. It's stuff to be prepared for when you're getting sober. It's some of the stuff that we don't talk about when you're getting sober. And that's why I think it's always important to share about it. It's not about glamorizing drugs or any of that stuff. It's also about realizing what sobriety is like and how challenging in different areas that sobriety can be. And again, like I said, if you're new here, hit the like and follow button, comment down below. If you're trying to get sober now and you're fighting for it, I mean, my heart goes out to you. It does get better. It is worth the fight. Find what works for you because there's no right or wrong way of getting sober. It's your way. And, find what works. Download Sunflower Sober. That's tagged down below. It's in the iOS, Google store. You got 24/7 support with that app. There is a whole community in there. There's doctors and therapists in there. There's a ton in Sunflower Sober to help you get sober and stay sober. Go to an inpatient treatment or outpatient treatment. Go into rehab. I got Refined Recovery down below. I do a lot of work with them. Go to an AA meeting, an NA meeting, an Al-Anon meeting. Go to all the meetings and then some. Find a therapist, a doctor, a psychiatrist. Get on the right meds. Keep fighting forward and keep trying it all until you find the combination that works for you. And just know that you are worth it and that you got this, that it does get better. What you're going through is real. It's valid, but it's going to get better. Believe me. I wish I could tell you when it does, but it is different for us all, but it does happen.